Okay, as we slowly start to wind down the stream, I really wanted to check this out. Everybody kept, so many people sent me this link. Even my normie friend sent me this link, and I didn't even know who fucking Nick is. And then I realized, oh, it's the guy that goes interviews black people and says that they say things that don't say, and then makes absurdly fascist pitches on why they all should get deported and shit. I was like, that guy. And then people were like, man, like, this guy's literally just lobotomized. And I was like, okay, he's probably stupid, but, like, come on. It can't be that bad. But apparently it's really bad. So I want to check it out. You guys probably watched it. If you know what, like, a cool part that I should skip to, because it's 1 hour, obviously we're not going to watch the whole thing, tell me where to skip, okay? Info hazard. You want to play a drinking game? No, I can't drink. Actually, I can't drink. I drank yesterday. I can't. But it will be a cool little drinking game. Drink every time he says something fucking stupid. Probably would be dead. Lobotomized Charlie Kirk, dude. I had to wash myself after watching it. Kubashi had to wash himself. But Kubashi, you're the most, like, edgy person in here. You were trying to kill the chat. I know I got a lot of other fellow grass touchers in chat, so I want to introduce them to this. Are we ready? Let's do it.
Video on the expose of the fraud in Minnesota is the most viewed video ever by a creator, longer than 10 minutes, than anybody other than the name of Mr. Beast. Altogether, it did around 500 million views.
Who do you think were the main people who signal boosted the video and brought
is the most viewed video? My video on the expose of the fraud in Minnesota is the most viewed video ever by a creator, longer than 10 minutes, than anybody other than the name of Mr. Beast. Altogether, it did around 500 million views.
Who do you think were the main people who signal boosted the video and brought it into that true viral orbit?
Elon Musk, who shared the video. JD Vance, he shared the video. You had the Attorney General, well, she actually didn't share it. She reacted to the video a few days later. Literally, quite frankly, every account on X saw that video instantaneously. Health and Human Services.
I'm thinking Stalinist thoughts. When it comes to people like this, you should. When it comes to people like this, you should. This is an information terrorist. I can kill 3 people with a gun. Making a video this popular, pushing this sort of propaganda, can potentially kill hundreds of thousands of people. Yes, this kind of person would be arrested and would be educated into a better understanding of the reality of the world. He will be de-lobotomized and then released. No, of course, we are past the 1940s. There will be no fucking physical torture or any of that stupid shit, right? Like hardcore, like painful incarceration, blah, blah, blah. But yes, this person will be incarcerated. This is, I'm not having a tanky moment or whatever the fuck some libs might call it. I think even liberals agree on this, right? You don't get to agitate for a large-scale discrimination, hatred, and bigotry without some hardcore fucking consequences. So yes, motherfucker, yes, people like this are getting arrested. Yeah. Good morning. What, you're just gonna let them keep doing this and sabotage the revolution from inside out? Fuck that.
They froze all funding to childcare inside of Minnesota, and then they're asking for businesses to prove that they are legit businesses before they give tax dollars to these businesses that are.
You know, he's really too stupid to even know how wrong he is, but that's the point. A true commie believes that everybody can be shown how wrong they are, and that most of the quote-unquote wrong people are just extremely stupid, and that's why they're wrong. And that's why they need some additional education. And that's what we give them. And of course, the only people that would go through these incarcerated education programs would not just be people that have bad takes, But people that, because again, we should grow out of this like 1920s like Bolshevik mentality, because it's not the 1920s anymore, and that shit literally would sabotage the revolution from the inside. So who gets, quote unquote, forcefully educated? The ones that use their lack of information on a topic as a means to damage society, to damage the revolution, to damage the socialist cause. The ones that yielded with a knife. The rest, though, the other 100,000 or 10 million idiots, if we are true socialists and believe in material conditions molding a person, will be, introduced to being a civilized, class-conscious human being by living in said socialist society, engaging in normal education programs, watching movies, reading the newspaper, buying a nice new book, etc., which will slowly mold. The only people that get, quote unquote, incarcerated don't get incarcerated because they have the wrong opinions. Fuck that. That's not how you. I do not support that. I do not. They get incarcerated when they're wielding it as a knife. It makes no sense. If we're going to incarcerate somebody that is stabbing people, we should incarcerate somebody that can potentially, through the use of their mouth, their platform, their whatever, potentially harm hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, millions of people. You're harming someone, you're removed from society until you're deemed rightful to return to said society because you've changed. End the fucking conversation. Oh, Yugo said people's police. Yes. Yes. Da. Okay? Da. The fuck is this? We people are not biological fascists. Often times your run-of-the-mill fascist is just obey the next confident person with a populist message. Yes, absolutely.
Are not really businesses.
As far as that main center that you visited, Quality Learning, aka Quality Learning Center.
Yeah.
Was there ever any kids there in the first place?
No. So that daycare center, it's been operating fraudulently. It's actually had over 90 violations over the past few years. And the day that I went there at 11 a.m. Their operating hours are from 2 to 10 p.m., they're now saying. And that's actually not legal.
So you said you went there at 11 o'clock in the morning?
Yes.
And their operating hours are between 2 and 10 p.m.?
Allegedly.
But if that is true, would it have made sense that you didn't see any kids there?
Yeah, it would have made sense if I didn't see children there. Either way, whether I was there when kids were supposed to be there or not, why are all the windows boarded up? Or why are all the windows blacked out? Why is there no phone number that leads to anywhere? These businesses are supposed to be operating to serve children. People should be able to check in their child there and their children into these daycares. It's literally impossible.
Did you see some of the footage released by CBS Minnesota affiliate station that showed kids entering and exiting the facility?
Yeah, the one on the ABC. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that one received over $1 million. It's licensed for 40 children.
Motherfucker that's going to a place to film children be like, why the fuck are the doors darkened out? Maybe so that creeps can't film children. What was that meme? That Onion article. This reads like an Onion article, this whole interview. We haven't even started.
Yes, I believe they go in there the day after I had posted my video. Obviously, they're going to have children there when they're getting all this heat.
I take my kids here, 2 o'clock to 10. Yeah, there's a lot of kids inside.
And same thing at that daycare. Why are all the windows blacked out? This is a daycare. Why can't a lady just give me a paper to enroll a child? This door is locked.
This facility is licensed for 40 children.
Well, I guess maybe. I'm just trying to think from all perspectives and help you clear up some misconceptions.
Yeah.
I mean, I figure like if you're going with a camera and like 3 or 4 dudes, some of whom were like larger security looking guys, some had face gaiters on, maybe there's a fear that there's like something weird going on, or it just seems unfamiliar and they feel like they don't want to let you in.
Yeah, they might feel that fear, but if they're...
Wait, I didn't know this. Motherfucker walked around with motherfuckers that look like me. And then, I don't know, school teachers or daycare teachers would open the door and look There's a guy with a camera, and then there's a motherfucker that looks like me, and she's like, get the fuck away from here. And he's confused on why they told him to get away from it. What the fuck? What the? You literally have to have a code to be buzzed into most daycares? Yes. But even get me started, this is incredible.
They're operating legally, why would they have anything to fear? And the neighbors around it said they have not seen a child there for 8 years. And if you go on Google Maps right now, you can actually see the images of the daycare progress over the past few years. And starting in 2021, the door is boarded up from the image from Google Maps. So I think if you show that, it's actually pretty crazy to see. And then they move the building and they cut open
This guy's lobotomized. Yeah, I understand now why you call them lobotomized.
a door on the backside of the building as well, where they had a quality learning center. One man's been
Yeah, so that the kids don't get run over by a car. And so they can have a spot outside where they can keep the kids before the parents pick them up. Have you ever seen a daycare? What?
living there since 2017, hasn't seen a single child. And when I go and post my video on X, a lot of people were saying, well, Nick, you went during winter break. Well, actually, I went December 16th. School was still in session, so kids should still be going to daycare. The following days after the video then goes viral and gets over 100 million views, they have a person come out and he says, no, we're open. I'm the manager. I'm the son of the owners. We're open. At that same time, simultaneously, the lady who's in charge, the Commissioner of Children of Minnesota, says the daycare closed a week ago.
Quality Learning Center, which Brown says permanently closed last week.
While we have questions about some of the methods that were used in the video, we do take the concerns that the video raises about fraud very seriously.
So I film my video, daycare is allegedly open. Then a few days later, the lady says that the daycare was closed while that guy is outside telling people that the daycare is open.
I mean, it seems like that learning center has had a serious history of violations.
Quality Learning Center, yes.
Yeah, going back to 2020.
Yeah, it's literally not a daycare.
But how could they have violations related to childcare if there was no kids there?
Yeah, the way they're operating inside of there, they had the violations. Those people are not able, they were operating fraudulently inside that daycare.
But fraud.
Oh my God, poor kid. Oh, actually, no, not poor kid. Fuck this kid. Why do I feel bad? He's complete loboto head. You said, Barry, my love, Barry, where you at? What did you say? 34th minute. Amore mio, Barry. What did you say? 34. Yes, 34. So you're gonna cry about the Kirk getting kirked?
That's not
Minnesota.
the same as a pirate.
How do you gain credibility and trust? Well, you say a fact for a fact.
And the fact is that the first thing I think of when I think of Somalia
And the fact is, what are Somalians
Captain
known
Phillips.
for? Pirating.
Well, that's in Somalia. There's no pirates in America.
Who's stealing all the money in
That's not
Minnesota?
the same as a pirate.
That is piracy. So how do you gain more trust? Well, don't be afraid to say a fact or an opinion.
Even
when
if
you
I know that I'm dumb.
Yeah.
This is incredible praxis by Channel 4. Don't debate them, interview them. This is actually incredible praxis. He's proving all of us, at some point even I was that fucking idiot. Like, don't platform. He's like, no, I'm gonna platform the shit out of this fascist. I'm gonna platform him so fucking hard. I'm gonna platform him so hard that's gonna make him so transparent that people are gonna think that he's mentally disabled and lobotomized. Channel 5, sorry. I'm confusing my channels, okay? This is what incest and bloodlines creates.
By not saying anything about the death of Charlie Kirk as well, I thought that was pretty messed up. In a way, he's somebody just like me and you who was making videos, putting it on the internet, and then people literally killed him. I thought that was...
Oh yeah, I would arrest you, yes, 100%.
Kind of...
Yes, absolutely, yes.
Messed up of you to not...
I would create a law in which agitation for bigotry under false pretenses is punishable by law, yeah.
Publicly denounce that was you who was making videos, putting it on the internet, and then people literally killed him. I thought that was kind of messed up of you to not publicly denounce what happened to Charlie Kirk.
I did.
I never saw anything on Instagram.
What am I supposed to say?
You never shared anything.
I interviewed the guy who was debating him while it happened, and I mentioned a bunch of times that it was horrible, and it represented like one of the worst pivots in American politics ever.
And I didn't even watch the interview because I didn't want to watch that.
Well, you should watch it.
I don't want to.
Why? It's historically relevant.
It is historically relevant. I did lose respect for you when it felt like you went silent.
Well, you should watch the
You just said that he...
video because I say some stuff in it.
Okay, cool.
Do you ever see...
This feels... I understand Kubashi, one of the chatters said, after watching this video, I had to go shower. I understand now completely.
A world in which independent media will overtake corporate traditional media.
Well, we still have boomers and they're still watching TV, so that like is a lot of their audience. But when me and you are 50, 60 years old, do I think that CNN and those companies will be able to operate at the scale that they're operating right now? I think CNN has around, I know they have more than 1,000 employees, and it took one person to expose $110 million in fraud in Minnesota. And then when he does expose it, they investigate the person who exposed the fraud versus investigating the fraud taking place. Nobody has trust in them. Their trust is at all-time low because people like me are able to go and talk to the liberal woman calling me an ICE agent outside the daycare, and also talking to the man who's lived there for 8 years who's never seen a child. It's impossible for them to do that.
So you think once boomers go...
Yeah, I think once boomers go and once my grandparents aren't here anymore...
Which we don't want to happen, but it has to happen.
Well, it's just a part of life that people will die.
Yeah.
But at that point, I think mainstream media will not really be a thing.
So what can we do?
This concept I will call the zoo experience for the terminally online pilled.
To
zoo experience for the terminally online pilled.
Avoid the mistakes.
No, it doesn't flow off the tongue. The zoo experience for the unemployed.
Mainstream media made in the past, because at one point they were quite trusted.
Yeah, at one point they were quite trusted, but actually, were they? Do we know that the history books are correct when only the victors write the history? And at that time, they didn't have social media.
Ooh, wow, bro, incredible.
About what
never heard that one before.
Information at that time.
I'm just talking about like Walter Cronkite, like when there was like 2 stations and like, you know, there wasn't such a divisive news media.
This is what the average iPad kid will become, right? Damn. Should I go like anarcho-primitivism pilled and just go to the forest?
Media corporate competition taking place to where people were competing for views by using pundits and having a 24-hour news cycle, like when the written word also meant more as well. There was more faith.
Well, I can't speak on that because I wasn't living that generation where you had to get on
You
your
could
TV.
even go back, I mean, honestly, the 24-hour news cycle, if you talk to older people like in their 30s and 40s, post 9/11 was pretty much the first time where cable networks had to keep their airways on all the time. So they started filling slots with not correspondents and not field pieces, but just pundits. So what they would do is they would get somebody, 2 people who fundamentally disagree, and just have them yell at each other for like 2 hours to drive up engagement and keep people watching. So news kind of became like soap opera. Everything kind of became about engagement, like almost like reality TV.
Gary.
And then gradually trust faded because it became so partisan.
Yeah, I think it's also a sign of the times that we're seeing distrust and we're seeing the world get a little bit crazier as well.
So, I mean, what do you think we need to avoid?
What do we need to avoid? I think we need to call things out for facts. And you shouldn't be afraid to say when I ask you, what are Somalians known for? You're afraid of your viewers watching this video calling you a racist or Islamophobe.
No, to clarify.
You knew that word, Andrew. You knew you were saying pirate. You knew in your mind.
Well,
you're
asking me to think in a stereotypical mind. What do I think comes? What's the first
stereotype? To say it though.
You're asking me what's the first stereotype that comes to mind when I think about Somalia?
I said, what are they known for?
They are known by Americans who don't know Somalis.
And what are they known for?
Exactly. If you ask me, what are Kazakhs known for? Like good food, like insane dances, and being strong. I don't fucking know. Those are my stereotypes. But if you ask me what Kazakhs are internationally stereotypically known for, I would say, oh, manam Bharat, right? That would not render me to being a bigot, because I'm showing that bigots only identify, Kazakhs with Borat. right? Both of those can exist at the same time, maybe.
What's the West for?
Well, the West is very much indoctrinated by Hollywood. I'm just saying, I want to wait to answer that before I actually
I literally watched one movie about Somalis, and he's like, they're pirates, bro.
have engaged with the community on a level to where I can actually say like they're known for this type of thing.
Well, when they're
wanna
committing 89% of the fraud in Minnesota.
But that wasn't the question. You asked me, hey, what are Somalis known for? And of course, I'm thinking of the movie because it's a Tom Hanks Hollywood blockbuster.
Yeah, but it's a fact that they're committing some sort of piracy in Minnesota. 89% of the fraud is committed by Somalis, and that's a fact. When we talk about building trust in the future of media, we need to be able to say things for what they are. If Tim Waltz goes on TV and calls people like me a white supremacist, it's my responsibility to call Tim Waltz.
I'm a white supremacist.
He's enabled this to happen because he's afraid to be called a racist or an Islamophobe. Meanwhile, our generation can't even buy a home. Meanwhile, people are stealing millions of dollars. And he's afraid to say that because he's too afraid of being called a racist or an Islamophobe.
I think the one main issue that I feel like unites the left and the right, at least in a certain income bracket in the U.S., would be affordability.
Yes, 100%.
I think it's probably the main issue that we're talking about. Deep down, I think that the main difference here is diagnosing how we can get to that point. You know, because when you're talking about your issue with fraud, you mentioned healthcare being expensive.
Yeah.
So we're all talking about the same thing here. It's just, I think the main difference is how are we going to get there?
And then when we have someone like Elon Musk.
Gamba. Chat, I'm going to kill myself if I keep listening to that guy. I cannot listen to that guy anymore. Now I'm going to send you to Zakap. Zakap rated me last time. I'm sending you to Zakap. Have some fun with Zakap. Zakap is a brilliant philosopher. Give them all your fucking follows. I'm going to go eat. And I'm going to see you next week. Check out the fucking, check out the Discord for the schedule. Today was a 10 out of 10 stream. This is, if it can always be like this, I would love my job. I already love my job, but if streams can be like today's stream, incredible. 1K Andy every Sunday, bro. Every Sunday we're a 1K Andy. Let's try and be a 1K Andy during the other days. So if you watch me only on Sunday, come hang out during the week. Sometimes it's even more interesting. And it's cozier. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And if you want to know when I stream, you check out the schedule down below. Or you check it out over on Discordino. Over on Discordino. Do you understand what I'm saying? Oh, man, I'm so fancy with this camera, dude. Goddamn. Thank you to everybody that oiled me up. Thank you to all the taxpayers. We finished this week with 20 taxpayers. That is very impressive. Thank you to 5 Western taxpayers and the many, many developing world taxpayers that have paid their taxes today. Thank you to everybody that followed. Welcome to this community of ours. My stream is more of like a bar, right? It's not a classroom. So chat is as important as me. We bounce off of each other. That's the whole idea. So welcome to the community. Thank you for following. Welcome to the community. Thank you for investing in it with your time more than anything else. Let's, I guess, go and buy Chinese ETFs and stuff. Bye. Oh, shit. Did it go? I think it went. Fuck.